Hello, love. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kristen. I'm a 22-year-old girl recording her own self-love video diaries for the world to see. And today's topic is about mindfulness. As a Gen Z, I practically grew up on technology and it's had a lot of bad side effects. I struggle with paying attention and it's really hard for me to gain interest in other things. And it's also a way I use to just numb myself and to avoid the negative thoughts that frequently rise up in my head. And overall, it's just become a lot harder to talk to people like in real life. I know a lot of you guys struggle in similar ways and just in general, like struggling to be present as a whole, even if technology is not your thing. But right now, more and more people are starting to end their social media addictions. But I know it can be hard and pretty overwhelming. I'm going through it myself right now, especially when we're used to the chaos, and being in that stillness can be a lot and terrifying. That's why I decided to come up with 8 mindfulness activities to help you get introduced to mindfulness so that you can slowly introduce it into your life and become more accustomed to it to where it becomes your new normal. So let's get started. Let's talk about coloring or doodling. This is something that I semi-recently introduced into my life, and it's actually something that I really enjoy doing. One, because it's really easy to do. You can literally do it anywhere at any time. Two, it doesn't take much thought, especially if you have a coloring book where you don't need to even think about what you're trying to draw. And 3, because of how it really just quiets your mind in the best way possible. I really love using the Ohuhu alcohol markers. I had a drawing phase when I was younger that I still kind of struggle with. So I bought those on a whim. But I find that they're actually really fun to use just for fun. When you're coloring, you aren't focused on the outside world. You're focused on what you're doing right now and what you're thinking about, like what colors to choose, how things are looking so far. This is really something that gets you out of your head, especially if you're an overthinker like me, where you struggle with being present because all you're thinking about is the worst case scenario or all the situations you're in or all the stress you have that can be really harmful to you in the long run. So just taking some time to pause and color, connect with your inner child again, and just have fun. Really just it brings peace to you and it quiets your mind in a way that it's giving you that peace of mind and time to actually connect with yourself and what you're doing in the moment. Everyone already knows about meditating, but I feel like it can never be talked about too much. So if you don't know what meditating is, it's basically where you're taking a few seconds, a few minutes, maybe a few hours if you're crazy like that, but just spending some time in silence, or you're following a meditation guide, or you're listening to some sounds. And it's basically where you just sit with yourself and you take the time to ground yourself, to center yourself, to connect with your thoughts in a healthy and helpful way. It brings you back to you and it calms your mind down. And it also it can really help with problem solving. You can do any kind of meditation you want. There's meditations for manifestation, there's self-esteem, confidence. If you're spiritual, talking to your spirit guides, there's so many that you can do for whatever you need it for. And I find that it helps you slow down your breath so that you can actually take the time to think properly. It helps you calm down. It helps ease away those worries, even if it's just for a moment a day or however often you can do it. It really does help, even just for a little bit, because it introduces just a moment of peace for you and a moment of, I wouldn't necessarily say silence, because that's not really possible to completely silence your thoughts. But again, it slows everything down for you so that you can actually take a moment to breathe, realize what the problem is, realize what you want to happen, and work through it from there. These next 2 are connected, and I feel like they aren't talked about enough, but it's basically just either eating in silence or working in silence. This helps you actually focus on what you're eating. This like introduces how things taste, how they smell, the textures. And I find that it also brings in gratitude because it's like, oh wow, I have this really good meal in front of me. And now that I'm actually thinking about it, I'm so happy that I get to have this meal on like a regular basis, or I was able to buy this for myself today. Things like that, where if you're sitting in a screen the whole time and you're not even thinking about it, then it was just another moment for you that didn't even matter. Not to mention, but I do also find like you're gonna eat faster. Like I always have something in front of me to watch when I'm eating, and it takes me literally like over an hour to eat for no reason. And I think that I can definitely, like in the long term, it can definitely mess with like your appetite and your eating habits in general. So if that's something else you're looking into, I would recommend just starting to do this, even if it's just taking one bite or spending 5 minutes eating in silence, things like that to introduce yourself, it can really go a long way. And it's similar with working in silence. It's going to help you with focus, it's going to help you think more clearly and actually process what you're trying to do. This is especially true if you multitask like I do, and it ends up being a mess and it always takes longer and I'm never really clear on what I want. It's just it can be annoying to deal with. So working in silence, I find helps you focus on just one thing at a time, and it makes you that much more productive. I feel like everyone needs a hobby that requires the use of their hands, especially one that you don't have to look online for. It's it can be really game changing for you. So I know that's really hard because for honestly a lot of my hobbies I've had to, like crocheting, I had to look up tutorials online, I have to look up guitar online. But in a sense, I think that's still okay as long as you're not overdoing it, because I think that if you're online as a way to educate yourself, then it's fine. I don't think it necessarily like quote unquote counts as like bad screen time. That's the main goal here. We're trying to be more present, and if you struggle with screen time, like if that's one of the issues you have, then if you instead use screen time as a way to help you instead of just like blocking out everything, then I think that's okay. But anyway, this can be drawing, singing, dancing, literally anything, like I said, crocheting or playing guitar. And it's really gonna help you, like, it's actually gonna really help you think critically. It's gonna help you go back to processing things properly. It's going to make you actually, think. In general, you're just gonna start thinking, and it forces you to be present because you have to think about what you're doing, maybe the position your hands are in, or how much pressure you're putting on something, like things like that. It really Trying a new hobby forces you to be present. I know everybody knows about affirmations nowadays, but I think it's really important for you to come up with a few that you can memorize and just have ready for when negative emotions come up or uncomfortable emotions come up, or just like positive affirmations, so that you're kind of resetting your nervous system and you're regrounding yourself, and you're just setting a reminder for yourself. Let's say you have a stressful situation at work coming up and it's been stressing you out these past few weeks. So when you're stressed and you're realizing it, you can say, my stress is temporary, or my job is not my life, to help you come out of that cycle of stressful thinking, anxious thinking, things like that. Or if you want, just in the morning, you can say a few affirmations that help you set the intention for the day. So maybe you wake up and it's instantly like, I trust myself, I love myself. Those are the ones I use in the morning. You can do it if you have different goals for the day. If you want to focus on your job for the day, maybe it's, I am fully capable in my abilities within my career, or something like that. If it's about taking the day for yourself, maybe it's like, I am comfortable with resting, something like that. I think that these things can just be really helpful because they break out those habits of just going, especially within our thoughts, because thoughts never end, especially if you're neurodivergent. The thoughts are just gonna be racing 100% of the time, 24/7. So it can be really hard to take a minute and realize that like you're thinking so much. And again, it'll help you ground yourself. It'll help you take a moment to breathe and realize that maybe the situation isn't as serious as you're making it out to be, or that there is a solution that you can think of now that you're able to. Things like that can be really helpful. And alongside this, you can also use mantras. I think that for the most part, people use this like during meditating, but it's basically just like coming up with one word or one sound, like Om. Om is pretty popular. You could also use an affirmation as you meditate, but this is a good way to like set the intention for your meditation and just another way to calm yourself down, basically. Breathing exercises are, I find, like one of the most helpful techniques that I use, especially as someone with anxiety. I do want to start off by saying that while they are helpful, if you already have like pretty intense anxiety, like you've been anxious for a while already, like within the moment, breathing exercises are not going to help. Believe me, I've tried. It's really best to catch it beforehand if you can, because once you're already in that state and you're panicking, the breathing isn't going to help. You got to find other tools that, if you guys would like me to talk about, maybe I can create a video, but let me know about that. So again, they're really good at stopping the anxiety before it gets worse. They are good at just generally grounding yourself. They're good at, again, stopping those thoughts from racing and helping you to just take a moment in general and to just pause and be present with yourself. Even if it's just like you take 3 deep breaths and you're focusing on like how deep those breaths are, or how the air feels cool coming in, warm coming out, that kind of stuff. There are multiple kinds of breathing exercises you can do. It's really just taking deep breaths. It can be box breathing, where you breathe in for a few seconds, hold, breathe out for a few seconds, and then hold. Triangular breathing is similar to that. There are a million out there that you can look at and see which ones work for you, but I do really love them because they're just an easy way to become mindful and present, especially if you're low energy like me a good chunk of the time, where it's hard to do the bare minimum. You already are breathing on a regular basis, so this can be really helpful for you. All right, the last one. This is one that I've done a few times, but I need to do more because it can actually be really helpful, and that's just free writing. So this is basically when you sit down and you write or type out every single thought that comes to you in the moment. You're not stopping, you're not correcting words, you're just writing whatever you can, however fast you can. And the whole point of this is to be messing and just to get out all those thoughts that you're thinking of. And I find that this is really helpful when you're spiraling or when you've been holding on to an emotion for too long. It helps you get that out of your system, and it helps you actually, once those thoughts are out of your head, you actually have the room to think about other things and possible solutions, and maybe just realizations, because most of the time you're taking it too seriously. This whole process, it takes a weight off your shoulders when you're done. Like literally every time I've done this, and just journaling in general, like I've just felt like my brain goes quiet for a moment, because it's like, oh, I was just holding on to this for too long. And it just helps you come up again with those solutions that you may need. Or if you just need to let go, this is really great for that. I think that it should be part of your routine if it's really important to you. And if you're, again, an overthinker, an overstressor, if it's hard for you to see solutions or to see the big picture and to take things too seriously, this can be really helpful for you. I hope these ideas helped you maybe try them out, or maybe it helped you come up with other ideas. And please let me know in the comments if you like this video and if you'd like to see more of it, because I really like doing videos like these, I've realized. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!